Hello everyone, welcome to a new live stream. I see we have 3 people watching and I hope the sound works better than last time. Let me know in the chat if there's a problem with the audio. I'll try to fix it, but yeah, I think the levels are good, maybe even too high. Okay, so what we will talk about today? Flarum Beta 14. So Flarum Beta 14 is not released yet, but it's imminent, and I can say that because I'm also part of the core team, so I know it will be released very soon. It's currently in feature freeze, so it means nothing else will change. So if we test against Flarum Core Master, we are pretty much testing against Beta 14. So what we will do today, we will work with Flarum Master, and we will tweak a few of my extensions to make them compatible with Flarum Master, which means that they should be compatible with Beta 14 as soon as Beta 14 comes out. But I will only tag updates once Beta 14 is actually out, because yeah, a lot can still happen. So yeah, so I thought we could start by taking a look at the upgrade guide, because yeah, we have already finished. I think it will not change anymore, the update guide. So we are inside of the Flarum documentation under extend. So this is the information for developers, and here we have everything that changed in this update. And as you can see from the scroll bar, there is a lot. There is a lot to say. But not all extensions will be impacted by everything. The biggest thing by far is the change to Mitchell version 2.0. Previously, Flarum was still in Mitchell 0.2.5. So we completely skipped Mitchell 1.0. We directly went to Mitchell 2.0. And the concept is still mostly the same, but there were a lot of small changes, lots of things that change name, and there are a few changes in how it works. Yeah, so that's the big part, and because some things changed names, every extension that uses JavaScript will need some changes. Sometimes it's simple, but there will be changes needed. So I think I will go through the guide. Actually, I reviewed it, I think, a few weeks back, but it's been a while. So even me, I don't exactly remember everything we put in here. So I think we will read through this, and then we will take a look at some extensions. So here, what do we have? Yeah, we hope this is the last big rewrite in Flarum. And yeah, there are many changes, and mostly Mitchell 2.0. So Mitchell 2.0, oh yeah, so there is a guide. There are guides inside of Mitchell documentation about all the little changes that came from the 0.2.x releases. So here we have a summary of everything that changed in Mitchell. I will not go through all of that, but I will probably mention some of them. And I think the most important ones, yeah, a few key changes are explained below. So these are the most important. So there was a thing that was called, like, when you are inside of a component, there was a property named props. Now it's named attrs. So this is just a change of name. Otherwise, it still works the same. So props is now attr, and init props is now init attr. Yeah. Then there was the m.prop. That was a wrapper for variables. Personally, I was trying to avoid using it as much as possible, because because for once, reason one, it was not really useful at all. Even Mitchell documentation said that you should avoid them. So I was already avoiding this, but now if we want to continue to use this, we need to import this class instead. It's no longer part of the base Mitchell, so we have another way to import it if we still need it. But personally, I will almost never use it. Mitchell had a with attribute helper. Again, it was one thing that was not really necessary because it was almost shorter to write the full code instead of using a function. But Flarum still has it as a helper now if we wanted to still use it. Next, the lifecycle hooks. So we had init and we had config. Now in Mitchell 2, there are different methods for each case. So init is now on init. And config was running in different situations. Now there is a method dedicated to each situation. So on create, on before update, on before remove, on remove. So often we used config just to have the on create. So now we will be able to replace config with on create, and we will be able to remove the code that checked if it was the first time it executed. So yeah. Other things here. Yes, if we use a component, now we need to call the parents. Like here, yes, we have an example. If we had init, we didn't need to call parent.init, but now we need to. And there is a parameter to onInit, which is called vnode. We need to pass that to the super.onInit. Same thing, if we have an onCreate, we need to have a super.onCreate because the Flarum component does some things inside of these methods. I think we don't need to do it on updates on remove because Flarum component does not do anything there. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's mostly things related to extending components. Next, yeah, there was an alias. We could pass children as an attribute, but now it's no longer possible. I will show you when we do the code. Next, there was a change when we register a page. Now we register the page without calling .component. So yeah, that will be relatively easy. There is a new component for links. We will probably also see that in the extensions. The methods to redraw have changed. So yeah, I think we didn't often use the different ones. m.redraw still works. It's the other ones that have changed. So yeah. Requests. The names of the attributes inside of request have changed. So now no longer data, now it's body. And there is also body and params which are separated. Yeah. Promise, yeah, previously there was a Mitchell, how do we call them again? There was a patch from Mitchell to make Promise compatible in all browsers, but now that it's supported, there is no longer this. So this, the m.deferred, it no longer exists. But again, it was not something that you used often. I might have used this in one or two extensions. We will need to replace this with real promises. Yeah. There is a change with storing component instances. But yeah, it was mostly Flarum core that did this. Extensions, I don't think they did that often. Yeah, probably changes in core. Yes, the way to open modals has changed a bit. The way to open alerts has changed a bit. You will also see that. Then there are a lot of small changes, like when we use the composer. I don't think this will be important because I don't have any extensions that go that far. Yeah, maybe the emoji picker extension will be impacted by this, but I will not spend too much time on this. Some changes to the name, some changes to the attributes to some of the components. But most of them I will not even need. There are new objects to hold the discussion list state, page state, post stream. Yeah, but again, it's a lot of rarely used features, so most extensions are not impacted by it. There was a change. We no longer use moment, but I think the API is mostly compatible between moment and JS, so we might not need to change anything. There was a change to the subtree retainer, but again, I might use it in 1 or 2 extensions only. This is important. Some attributes change name again. Fragments, we don't need to worry about that, I think. I don't use it in any extensions. And then there is a recap. Yeah. Okay. So that was all for the front end. Next, we had back end. What changed? Yes, there is a new feature, extension dependencies. But again, it's not too important for what we do here, I think. There is an extender for views. That maybe we can use that one in some place. Oh yeah, no, that's the previous code. Okay, so maybe we will use that extender. Application. Yeah, there was some changes to the container. Now the app is no longer the same. Now app is container and no longer foundation application. So yeah, we will quickly see if we have that problem because there will be an error. There was an update to Laravel version 6. Yeah, yeah, I think we have covered everything, so let's get to work. Yes, a question about TypeScript. So Flarum is currently in a hybrid state, I think we can say. Some of the Flarum source code is in TypeScript, some of it is still in plain JavaScript. For now, there is nothing that changes for extensions. But in the future, extensions will also have the option to use TypeScript. But it will be a choice. Extensions will be able to use either TypeScript or simple JavaScript. For now, there is just core that started to be converted to TypeScript. Actually, I think we can see it if we check languages. Oh, we can no longer open it. You can see there is now JavaScript. There is 174 files in JavaScript, and there are 70. Yeah, there is 17 files that are already TypeScript. I thought we had more than that. But yes, we are currently converting to TypeScript. And in the future, there will be also type hinting for extensions. For now, we still don't have that goodie available. So, what I was thinking of doing was first to check which of my extensions are the most popular. So how to do that? So I think I will visit Xtiverse. I think it's best if I go to private navigation just to be certain I don't export anything. So let's check. So can I check for my own extension? So if I look for all my extensions and if I sort by most downloaded, yeah, let's take a look. So the problem with this is that it's only lifetime downloads. So I know the emoji picker has the most downloads, the most lifetime downloads, but it might not have that many recent downloads. But anyway, that's an important one. But that's an extension that does not do a lot because it just imports another library. Then we have color circles. That one is very simple. Author change. I didn't know it was already the third extension. But yeah, author change was the one I thought about. We had red. This one is a complex one, but I think we could take care of it as well. Comic Sans, that one is a classic. It might not even need any change. We will test. Catch the Fish is a good example because we have pretty much everything that you can find in Flarum. It's not a very useful extension, but you can find examples about everything you could do in an extension, practically. Passwordless, I didn't know it was one of the most used, but yeah, that one is also interesting. Create user modal is also a relatively simple one. Group invitation is more complex. Likes received, that one is not too complex. This is a bit more complex, I think. A carving contest is another one that's complex, but it's mostly an example. So yeah, that's really nice. Another thing I wanted to check is to go to query. So I don't know if you know that tool. I made it. This is a tool that lets you make SQL queries on a database that contains all information about extensions. So I just wanted to check the downloads. I want to sort my extensions, but I want to do this here because I have access to more information. Because there is an extensions table, and here we have the downloads monthly, and I want to sort by that. So let's make a query that goes to that table. So select everything from extensions, sort by downloads monthly. So if I do that, I will get all extensions. I don't do problems, not sort by it. So if I look like this, I can look through all extensions and see which ones are the most downloaded monthly, but I need to sort them by descending order, and I will just take the package and downloads, total downloads monthly. So here we can see the most downloaded extensions across all of the ecosystem, all public extensions. And yeah, so here we can see all extensions, but what I want to do is only get my extensions. So where package like my name, but I will also take them from the kilowatt namespace because I have extension in other namespace. I have or like I have multiple namespaces. I also have the migrate to Flarum namespace. So let's look across all of these namespaces to see my most used extensions, my most downloaded extensions monthly. And oh, yeah, so surprisingly, emoji area is still the most downloaded, even monthly. So I guess we will need to take a look at that one. The most popular. The circle groups, I can't believe that this extension, the circle groups was made because it was made like 3 or 4 years ago. someone said, oh, I want to have colors around the name, so I made an extension, and I said, hey, it's so easy, I did it here, and now it's one of my most downloaded extensions. And it just changes the color of one element. Then we have mailing. Yeah, mailing is one that's very used. Likes received. Yeah, then that's what we saw. That's mostly what we saw on Xtiverse. Author changed, red. Bookmarks. Oh yeah, bookmarks got some popularity recently. That's a new one. Yeah. Canonical. Canonical is one that I want to update as well because it's a very important extension. And fake data, I have already made it compatible. You will see it's already on my test for. Okay, so we will take that as a reference to decide which ones we do first. Okay, so let's get started. Let's use emoji one area is not a good example because I will probably hit some difficulties because it's related to the post composer. Let's start by circle groups. Circle groups is a simple one. So let's start with this one. Okay, so circle groups. So first I will go to my GitHub. So let's see. So this one has no issues, no pull requests. So that's really nice. First step, I will clone this extension. And I have my Flarum master ready. So this copy of Flarum is running Flarum master, which is the upcoming beta 14. I will go to the workbench folder, clone my extension. Next I can go to extension, Flarum X circle groups. I can open it inside of PHP Storm, so open. Let's go, I'm not in one, let's go to Flarum master, workbench, circle groups. All right. Next, I will check the source code. So we are using a single extender. This one still exists and has not changed. The composer.json, here we use the old way of having requirements. So this one will not change, except for now I will require beta 14. Yes. Next, the JavaScript. There is a single file. This one might even work without any change. That might. So we will see. So next, I will install the extension on my Flarum master. So require. Oh, I can copy it. I'm too lazy to write it again. So require my extension. Oh yeah, don't worry about the warning in Composer. I have an old version of Composer, but the warning is not important because I don't have it auto-update. So I install the extension. And then I can go to my master. So here I'm on my master.flarum.localhost. This is my master forum. I can go to the extension tab and you can see I have less extensions than on my beta 13, but it will soon change. So I have installed color circle. Let's try to enable. So nothing wrong, but there is nothing in the admin. Now let's refresh. Let's refresh on the front end side, see if anything crashes. Not yet. Yeah, now we have an error. C.props isn't defined. Yes, there is props somewhere. Okay, so what we will need to do, we will need to change some of the source code inside of this file. And I will install the I need to compile the JavaScript. One thing I do when I make a big update like this one, I will go to my JavaScript and I will actually delete the log file. That way I can install all of the latest version of everything. Usually it's not a good idea to delete a log file if you just make little changes and you don't test everything. But since I need to test everything because it's a Flarum major update, I might as well update all of the dependencies to the latest version possible. And this extension has so little code that it's actually easy to test everything. So I deleted the log file, I installed again, and now I have all of the latest of all dependencies. That way I will not get any complaint from on GitHub there is security warnings. I will not get any warning. I have everything up to date, or at least that's the idea. So now let's update the code. So what might need to change? So here we accessed, we are inside of post user. That class still exists, but we use this.props.post.user. So props changed. So now it's this.attr. Then we have other props. So we had badges, user badges, and here we accessed props inside of the badge. So now we will access attrs. I'm not actually sure if that loop will still work, but we will see. Here we already had node.attrs because actually what changed in Mithril, this is the name. This is the name of the props inside of a component. It was called props, now it's called attrs, but inside of the virtual node. So this node is a virtual node description. It was already called attrs in the past. So this one has not been renamed. It's still called attrs. I see there is also a props here. So let's just rename everything that was called props. We rename it attrs, and we will see if it works. Refresh. So there is no longer any error except for the missing 5 icon, but we don't care about that one. So there is no longer any error, but it's also not working. So let's see what we can do. So let's debug this. So do we have a user? So I will use the good old console.log. So let's check where the code fails. So this bit of code should still work. Extend view. So now I will log user. So that works. I have access to the user. Next, I will log the first colored badge. Does it find anything? No, it finds nothing. So there is a problem with that code. So here it should, oh no, because maybe there is no admin in view. Do I have an admin? It's here. So the admin should have a color. Let's go to a thread. Let's make a new thread just for the admin. That way I'm certain the admin is always in view. Let's create a discussion for the admin. Okay, so we see nothing is logged. So this code is not working. So yeah, let's do some logging and see what we can. If we log the list of badges, that still works. And here we have, yeah, so this bit is actually a virtual node. It's not, maybe previously it was not a virtual node. Maybe previously it was a component instance. And now it might be a virtual node. That's a complex change to explain. Maybe we can see something inside of core. So if I go to, how is it called? Yeah, it's user. So if I go to the user model, we have the badges function. So that's the method I'm currently calling, user.badges. And here it returns a component. No, it might have been like that before. But maybe before it was a component instance, now it's a V node. Um, but that's not, why was it done like this? Oh yes, that's explained in the comment. Because I could check the groups of the user and get the color from there, but I made the choice to look at the badges because that way I could also support badges that are not groups. And I could also, doing it like this, the order of the badges would be used. So yeah, so we just need to adapt this code because there was a change. Not sure what exactly changed, but something changed. So we had âtres side of here. Oh, I understand. Yes. Previously we had access to the V node. No, we had access to the virtual DOM. But now it's no longer the case. We get access to the virtual DOM of the component. Previously, we would get access to the virtual DOM of the rendering of the component. So now we no longer have access to this. We cannot read this because we can only read, this is the description of the component. So we can get access to the attributes of the component, but we cannot get the access to the attributes of what the component will render. So I might as well just loop the badge to the groups now, because it's not useful to loop the badges just to access the group here. So yeah, so I will change this. So we will access user.groups. So let's change. So we will access user.groups now. We no longer need toArray, we just need find. But we want to find the first group that has a color. So how do we know if a group has a color? Let's check the source code of the. Oh, it's not installed. Let's go through here. So if I go to the group model, I can see that I can access color. So I will access the first group that has a color. And then, so let's rename this. This variable will become first colored group. This one needs to be named to group. Let's update the command. So because badges. How do I update this command? Because yeah, previously we had the badges, but now. Oh, do we want to support badges? No, I think it's simple if we just. So find the group that has a color. We don't read badges because yeah, the comment, we don't read badges because we will need to support every badge component and its attributes. Yeah, that's basically it. So now we just find the first group that has a color. I'm not sure about the ordering, but it must be the same order as was used for the badges, so nothing should change there. The rest of the code might still work, so let's try. Let's see what happens. There is an error. Children.find is undefined. So something here no longer works. So let's do some logging. So does this find something? Yes, this finds something. Now if I add, oh, I think, let's do, here it's undefined. Find match tag A. So let's go back to slog. Oh, I poke if we. So we have tag h3, we have children. Inside of children, we have a new level. Here we have tag. Oh, I see. So previously we had a link. So we were looking for a tag named A. But now, we can see here tag is a function. Why is it a function? This is because of the link change. So if I go back to the changelog, we have the link now. We have the link component. So I think this function is actually the link component. So I will import the link component. Import link from Flarum components link, and now we will try to find a node that is using the link component. Let's see if this works. Yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. So it works here. Let's check. Let's do a little travel on the forum. So yeah, that's nice. Oh, there is an error. That's fantastic. Oh no. That's not an error from this extension. Who was in charge of fixing this in Flarum? How did I do that? Oh, maybe I switched page while something was loading in. Would it be that? Yeah, anyway, that error with the offset it's something to do with the scrubber. There were some issues with Flarum and the update. Yeah, let's check if I make another user. I mean, I can just go to the discussion. Let's promote this user to moderator. See if it works. Yes, I have the color of the moderator. Let's try to suspend someone. Do I have the suspend extension enabled? If I suspend someone, they have the suspended group. It's possible that in the old extension, it would add a color as well. I don't remember, but now it will no longer do it. But yeah, that's not a big problem. Okay, cool. So I think I will go with this, and to make this proper, I will import app. I don't like when form underlines app. So I think we have everything ready. So I have updated the requirements. I have fixed the JavaScript. Here there is nothing else to change either. Extend is all good. README. There might be a typo. Are there two R? I don't know how to write in it. But how do sometimes PHP Storm propose changes to text? Here it doesn't. It does not want to. suggestion. So anyway, yeah, so now it's good. So what I will do, I will compile the JavaScript for production with yarn build. Next, I will create a new branch. Let's call it beta 14. And now I can commit. So I have updated that. I have this, the log file change and composer change as well. Prepare for Flarum beta 14. Commit. What contains problem? No, there is no problem. Next I push, and next, it. Okay. And now the most important part of all of this. I make pull requests for everything, even though I don't need to make a pull request for everything, but I don't have my Hacktoberfest quota yet. So basically, this live stream will be my Hacktoberfest pull requests. So yeah, nothing else to add here. So yeah, pull request made. And I might as well just add, how was the name of the, will not, was it Hacktoberfest approved? Let me check. Hacktoberfest. What was the way to approve a pull? They had to make a change because there was too much spam. So I can either make my all repo Hacktoberfest, but seeing as there is no other pull request to do, I will just add the Hacktoberfest accepted topic, not topic, tag. Just add the Hacktoberfest. Create new. Like that. How to cheat at Hacktoberfest. But no, actually it's perfectly legal to make pull request against your own repo. And it's not even a type of fixed pull request. So it's definitely a valid pull request. So yeah, let's go to another extension now. I think it's time to go to something a bit more complex. How many windows do I have opened? So we did circle groups. Now let's do author change. There will be some interesting stuff in there. So let's do author change. Let's clone this extension. So I can go back to my workbench folder, clone my extension. Author change, yes. Now, let's open the project, author change. Let's take a quick look at the code. First thing first, I always check if there are issues or pull requests, because sometimes if there are pull requests, often it's the automated pull request from the GitHub security stuff. So this lets me know that my JavaScript is outdated. And here we have issues. Is there something that was easy to do at the same time? No, that one is not easy. Yeah, that one is not easy either. So we will not make any change. We will just make it compatible with Flarum beta 14. Let's take a look at composer.json. Here we can see I use the new requirements. So this extension will not be, you cannot install this on beta 14 unless I change it. So I will already change the requirements, so allow beta 14, but beta 14 only because the changes I make will not be backwards compatible. So yeah, now I can install it. So if I go back to master, composer require, this one is called author change. Let's install it. Next, I can go to JavaScript and I can go ahead and update the JavaScript. So again, I will delete the log file, will install again. So yeah, like before, I deleted the log file because I know that I will test every feature. If I was just doing a bug fix, I will not delete the log file because I will just want to install the same dependencies as before. But here I don't care because I will change the code anyway and I need to test everything anyway. So I might as well update the dependencies. And yarn dev. This one I'm certain it will break. Before the circle, I was not sure if it will break. This one I'm certain it will break. So here we have admin JavaScript, we have forum JavaScript, and we have 3 components. And if we go to extend, here we used, don't use any change thing. I don't think we will need any change in the backend. Here, did we use? No. Okay. So, oh, I cannot install. Why cannot? Dev master requires beta 14 smaller than beta 15. Oh yeah, so that's another problem I had before. Yes, so the way I have set up my forum, Composer is not able to know that the master copy I have is beta 14. So this fails because of that. So what I will do, I will just do it like this. So I can install. So I just, no. I will just put a temporary requirement just so that I can install it. Because once it's installed, then oh, there is some interesting stuff happening in the YouTube console. It tells me that there are 3 people watching, and at the same time, and in another place, it tells me that there are 4 people. It does not really know. Okay, so now it installed, and now I can revert to requirements that will actually be needed once Flarum updates. Okay, let's go to admin panel. Where was it? Yeah, I can close beta. So let's refresh the admin panel. Let's disable color circle and let's enable author change. Surprise, the interface did not crash. That's a good thing already. So let's start. Oh yeah, this extension does not have settings, but it has permissions. Do the permissions still work? So allow, where is it? Update discussion and post author, update discussion. So this still works. Seems like the admin side does not need any change. I will, like before, I will import app because I like to import app, but not necessary. So I don't need to change anything in the admin side. So that's good. Now let's go to the part where I need to work. So does the forum crash? Yes, it. So the children attributes of should never be used, either past children as the Vino children or rename the attributes. So that's one of the big changes. Previously, we allowed the use of children, like here, but now it's no longer possible. So what we actually need to do is just to pass the children will not be a property, it will be another parameter after the attributes. So what we need to do to fix that error is just to take what we had in children and put it after the attributes object. So we had that here. Here we also have children. So let's move all of them. So let's take care of all of these children. everything to parameter. Okay, so some of the stuff is very repetitive. We could somehow automate it, I guess. But so are there other challenges? So yeah. What else do we have? Should I just try? I think I will just try. I will just show you. I will just refresh and see errors as they go by. Because yeah, if you do that on your own extension, you will probably see the errors as well. So I know there are still many things to change. Now let's take a look. So there are no longer any errors. Let's try to go inside of a discussion. Everything is well. But of course everything is well because the code only executes when we click the buttons. So edit author and date. So let's click that button. There is an error, obviously. So hi Christian. You are not too late. There is still 1 hour to go. So unquote error. The modal manager can only show modals. What the hell is that error? That's because of the change. So if we look at modals, where was it? Change in core modal. And here you can see that previously we had to call app modal show new modal. But now we need to call show the class. And then the props will be passed as a second parameter. Because this is all linked to the fact that we can no longer create component instances. So I use a modal in my extension, so obviously I'm impacted by this. So let's find the code that opens the modal. We can see it here. So, oh yeah, there is another change. So basically, to do what is explained in the documentation, I need to split my parameters and my attributes. I need to split the class name and the attributes. But here I was not actually using attributes. You can see this is not an object. I mean, it's not an attribute object. It's just a discussion itself that was passed as a parameter. So I also need to change stuff here actually, because you can see I use the constructor. This is not something that's documented because not everyone was using it. But this way of doing things no longer works. So I can no longer use the constructor. I have to use a prop. So related will become an attribute. So I can remove this. I can remove this. Actually, I need to remove all of this. I need to use onInit. So I need to use onInit, vnode, and super.onInit, vnode. And here I can use this.attr.related. And everywhere I had related, I need to use this.attr.related. So where is it? Here. I think everything else will continue to work. This.attr. I think because everything else is a property on the component, this still works. So nothing to change there. I think that's okay. Now I need to change how the modal is called. So now I need to pass an attribute, and the attribute is named related. So I will have related discussion, and here I had related post. Let's see if this fixes error. Okay, no error so far. Let's click edit author. Still an error. Related is not defined. So here we have related. I change all of them? I think I refresh, edit, no, tags, edit author, and we still have some errors. Related is not defined. Where is that? Where is that? So let's use the debug tools. Why? Why is it inline? The compilation working? Init. Why is everything on a single line? Should not be filed in dev. Error comes from. Oh, it comes from the Mitchell source code, I think. So the problem might be related to. No, because it just says related is not defined. So, the variable. The error means that there was a variable name just related somewhere. I need to change all of them to this.attr. Did I change all of them? Author. The modal opens. But there is another error. This.state is undefined. Where is state used? Again, the error comes from Flarum. There is something to do with search. Has probably something to do with my other components. So yeah. So I have a few components. I have the modal. That one is part of what is well documented in Flarum. But then I have some other things, and this might be where the problem is. So I have user search. This one extends Flarum search. And there were probably some changes in Flarum. Oh yeah, by the way, it uses config. So something we need to change here anyway. Here, and here might be the issue because view now has a vnode attribute. Then when we call super, we need to pass vnode. I think this will be a problem. Anyway, let's take a look at the source code from Flarum for this. So let's go to file, let's find search.js, and let's see what we need to change. So, so I was extending select user index. Maybe it was not something that was. No, that one, it might be an additional method I created. We have this.prop, so we will change that to this.attr. Then we had config. Yeah, because what we do here, so I think I need to explain. So what I did is my extension, so you can see there is an input. Where is it? There is an input here to choose a user. And I was actually using, the input will actually be below. Right now it's not there, as a problem. So I was actually using the search bar for Flarum. I reused that component, and I was just removing the other search methods. So by default, you can search in discussions and users. I was actually changing the source so that you can only search in users. And then this bit of jQuery was there so that if you clicked on a user, when you use the search bar at the top of Flarum, it will go to the user profile if you clicked on a result. Here, I made it so that when you click, it does not go to the profile. It just selects the user and puts it inside of the field. So this code we still need. But we need to change the config stuff. And actually, there might not be a config here. Was it a config? No, there was no config. So basically I will just do the changes that were said in the guide. So if I used, now I can use onCreate, and I need to call super.onCreate because the documentation tells me I need to call the super when I onCreate. I can remove the isInitialize stuff because it was the code that checked whether it was the creation. But now this code will only be called on creation anyway, so that. This I might not need to change. We will see. Select result. Was this one a method inside of the search? Yes, this one was a method inside of the search. So did anything change? Yes, so something changed because there is a state now. State stuff. So why was this replaced? Oh, because I needed, oh yeah, previously it would navigate when you selected a result, but I changed it so that now it just selects. So I just need to change this code, I think. Is this.value that changed. Yeah, I think that's it. Next we had clear. So this one need to change as well. Oh, but no, maybe. No, value. Did I create my own value? Oh, that's a change. So previously the value was, how was it before? So if I go back to Flarum beta 13 here, previously the value was stored inside of the search as a prop. But in beta 14 there was a change. The value is now inside of a global state object. But in our case, we don't want a global object. We were fine with this because this meant that the value was stored inside of the component. So what we will do, we'll create an onInit. So onInit, call the super. We will store a new value actually. We'll store the value inside of the search. Soon it might be beneficial to not clone. Or no, something else I could do. The state is not accessed globally, is accessed as a prop. So I could pass it as a prop as well. Actually, it might be better because I'm reusing the search component. I might as well reuse the state. So where is the state? So Flarum, where are states? Common? Oh, I'm in beta 2. So states, and here we have search state. So we will use search state and we will pass it as a prop. I think I can do it like this. So then here I need to change. Why was there a read? Let's go back to the search, back to search on devmaster. Clear. So we need to change these ones to use the new code. From master. Not sure why. Clear. What did I need to redraw? By the way, I can call super. I can do it like this. That way I don't repeat the code. Yeah, I think that's okay. Now, where do I call this component? So here I need to pass the state, and the state will be. Oh, but I need to store it. So it will be this dot user search state, and user search state will be here. So this dot user search state equals new search state. Search state I need to import from Flarum state That's not something that's documented in the upgrade guide. Fantastic. See if it works. So we still have some errors. Get initial search is not a function. So where do we have get initial? Oh, this might now be inside of the source, because so I have a component that extends the user, that extends the search field. Now I have another component that extends the search source. So let's find this one. So what did I extend? So I had view, but view had what? Oh, we left this one inside of components, but it's not really a component. This is not a component. It's inside of components, but it's not a component. So here there is nothing about vnodes. So did I rewrite everything? Was there any change days ago? Oh yeah, there was a link. Am I affected by this? Oh, I don't think so, because I'm not using the... Okay, so where is the call to that method? Get initial search is not a function. Where is this called from? Problem must be inside of here. View. Get in. Get ini. Is.state. Okay. Why doesn't that exist? This is a search. It does not have the method. What is sorcery? Where does the get initial search comes from? Maybe I will even find bugs in Flarum. Where is that method defined? Oh, there is another. There is global search state. So that one must have. So this one. So this is inside of global search state. Extends search state. So this one. Why does why does that exist? Why do we have a search state? Where is this one used, if global search state? Oh, cool, we can make a bug inside of Flarum now. So the documentation says that we can use a search state documentation says that we can use a search state inside of the search component. Except no, because the signature is not compatible. Signature is not compatible. How do I fix that? Because I could extend the search state and add the method that's missing, or I could just patch it. I think I will just. So, here I create the user search state. So this dot user search state dot where was that? Oh, get initial. When we have TypeScript everywhere, this kind of thing should be noticed. Where is it? Really? Okay, so I need to implement this method, and I will basically make it return nothing. How do I do this? I will make the bug. I don't know if I make it during the stream or later. We will see. Let's see. First, let's fix this problem. Hash. Edit author. Yes, the search field now appears. Let's see if it works. So admin. Did we clear? Oh, what? What? Oh, my code. Oh, I clicked on the user and it went to the profile. So the thing that I explained is not working. So if I select a user, no, it goes to the profile. So whatever I did is no longer enough. So this bit of code is working. So how can I prevent the navigation? Sure. But is this the correct way to do it? Because this only happens. Oh no, the listener is added to the div. It might be too late. Maybe it cannot react to a page navigation. Because there were some changes with Mithril now when we like page navigation. It still works basically the same, but I noticed some changes. Previously you could hold prevent default in some contexts, but now it no longer works. I noticed that it also now checks for the meta tag for target on the page. Yeah, there's a lot of things, lots of little things that changed. And so this code no longer work. Let's see if the code is called. So, okay, the code is called, but is it working? Or maybe there was a links are nested. No, there is something. So prevent default is called, But it's not enough to block the navigation. It's too late, probably. So this means this strategy is dead. So this will not work in new Flarum. So this means I have no other choice than doing it from here, from the source. I need to replace all of the links. I need to change all of the links to prevent them from navigating. I need to remove the mutual routing from all links manually. I cannot just call. So it should work. Or is this something to do with class name? Here I was looking for user search result. See how the done. So oh no, it clicked. Please. Let's. So click. I need to look at the result. So I see there is a link. The link is inside of user search result, so it means it should work. So when I click the link, the target of the event is the link. I check if there is a parent that's called user search result. That's the case. And I call prevent default. So the idea was that it should stop the navigation. Apparently, it's not enough to prevent the navigation in Mithril anymore. So I will need another strategy. I go, what was the user search source? That's the one I have to deal with. So I'm already extending this, and here we have the link. So basically I need to replace this link with, I could replace the link with a span, for example, and there will be no click anymore. Or I could just replace it with a normal link, and then the prevent default will work, because there will not be any mutual routing anymore. So I need to access this. To access this somehow. So for now, I keep the jQuery here. I will go to the source. Here I'm going to the. Where do I need to check? I was adding stuff. What's that? Add. I was just returning one element. Oh yeah, it returns an array. So everything is inside of the base array. So it should not be too complicated. So here there was a loop that was going through all of the results. I notice here I was returning not a list. I think it will be better for other extensions. Return a list just in case, where I have the same data structure as. Oh, but this will not fix my issue right now. So, oh, but I had something. This bit of code was taking care of the exact thing I was describing. It was removing the config method, but now it no longer works with the config method. So actually, so I can reuse this code. I just need to check. So here I was checking, does that item has children? Because the children will be the link. And then I was removing the config method from the first children, and the first children was the link. Now what I need to do is not change, there is no longer this, but I can change the tag. I can just make it so that it becomes a normal link. If I do it, then I don't remove, I alter the tag. So tag in the virtual DOM will be link, but I replace it with just a. And now edit author. So how can I check that it works? I hover. Yeah, we can see I cannot show you because if I move the cursor, it changes, but you can see in the inspector, we have a link to /u/green.beetle, or whatever that is. And you see there is no longer event. There is no longer the little event written beside it. So now it means if I click on it, it works as it should. So yes, cool. And if I save, okay, so we cannot see the change here because it only changes the author of the discussion, not of the first post. But if I go back here, you can see it changed. So it's fixed. So this was actually the problem was the challenge existed in the previous version. I just had to update the code and maybe a comment will be good. So we link instead of materials link so that we can cancel navigation with prevent default. And maybe we need to say where we did. We use normal link instead of mutual link so that we can cancel navigation with prevent default in user search component. I think that will be okay. Yeah. Does everything work? Oh yeah, we had the problem. We had the report to make. Report bug in Flarum. So I will create the bug now. That way I can put the issue number inside of my code. So let's take a look at this. Let's do it. So let's issue GitHub issues. Next we will check if someone reported it. Very unlikely, but okay, let's make a new issue, bug report. Yeah, the search component is not really designed to be extended. I mean, that's something that we need to discuss at some point properly. What is public API and what is private API? Because right now Flarum exposes everything, but it does not document everything. So like the search, for example, I mean, what it's designed to be extended in the sense that we want extensions to be able to add new search drivers. So, for example, I think if you have, for example, if you have the pages extension enabled, I think the pages extension adds the search for pages as well here. And me, if you buy my premium extensions, there are also extensions that have additional search integration. So that's been designed to be extended. However, to be able to take the search field and put it elsewhere, that has not really been a use case. But that's what I do inside of this extension. So yeah, it could be done better. I mean, it's not too bad. The challenges I have here is because I'm using the search, but I'm using it as a field instead of using it as just a search and then to go to the profile. Yeah, maybe I see with all the changes that I had to make, maybe if I had to do this again from scratch, I would create my own component for search. Maybe, because there's a lot to, yeah. Maybe we will find a way to put that inside of core somehow. So let's just make the GitHub issue. So the problem is that search component a search component accesses. Here we have the get. Where was it? Get initial search. The search component accesses get initial search which doesn't exist on search state. And this is one that's it's hard to give steps to reproduce because you basically need to make a whole extension like mine. Yes, a user picker, it would be great. Just like we also need a tag picker. We need a tag picker. I made what? Yeah, in the new taxonomies extension that I made, it's not public yet. I mean, it's public, but it's not officially released. There is, I had to make a kind of like a tag selector. That would be really nice to have user picker, tag picker. But that's a lot of work and it needs to be very flexible. I don't know when we will get to that. So using the search component with a state search object results in. So what was the error? Haha, that's a trick. I will trigger the error again just so that I can copy the error message. So let's refresh now that I removed my fix and take a look at the console. Results in steps to reproduce. Use search component in a standalone fashion. Provide search with a state attribute that's an instance of state search, not global search state. The error. Expected behavior. This search type hinted as a requirement for search as an interface, so it should work. Screenshots, no. Environment, faster. Blah blah blah. All of that is not necessary. Output of PHP not necessary. Possible solution. That needs to be added to state search or conditionally called from from like this. Additional context. Here I will link to this. Issue experienced while preparing for beta 14. Okay, let's validate this bug. And because maybe it will be, maybe we are too late to get it fixed in beta 14, so it might have to wait for beta 15. So, and here I can make the command workaround for that issue. And now we are good to go. Go back, check that the fix still works. No, not rename, edit author. Okay, let's go back to admin. Oh, does it work with the keyboard? Yeah. Save. All good. I might test the time change as well. It could be nice. So let's go back in time. Go back 8 days time. Check here. So started 8 days ago. Okay, that works. And as I expected, the backend has not been impacted by any change. As you have noticed, we only changed the front end and backend. Yeah, we don't use anything that was changed update. We also don't use anything special for the extenders, so all is good. All is good. So again, let's create a new branch. No, let's compile yarn build. Let's compile. Then let's make a new branch, beta 14. Now let's commit. So what we changed. Yeah. Nothing too fancy. There was that complicated bit with the links and the change with the state for the search, but otherwise I think it was not too big of a change here. So prepare for Flarum beta 40. Commit, push. Let's repository. There was it again. Here, pull request. Let's not change anything, just create a pull request like this. Again, let's do this. I will usually not create a pull request, but that way it counts towards my Hacktoberfest quota. So add the labels, label Hacktober. Here we go. That's how all. And I will merge all of this when beta 14 releases. I don't want to merge this on master because there is still a possibility that maybe there will be changes in beta 14 before it is released because it's not released yet. So yeah, let's just keep it as a pull request for now. That way people also know that this extension is ready to be updated as soon as beta 14 comes out. Okay, so we still have some time. I was thinking of doing about 2 hours of stream, so 30 minutes of stream. Let's see which other extension we take care of. So let's go back to my list. So which one is not too complicated, but which one could be interesting? So create user modal, that one is a simple one. Bookmarks is maybe too complicated. Whoread is also a complicated one. So these three are too complicated, I think. Take care of them now. Group invitation, that one is not too complex. Maybe I will take care of that one. I take a look. Mailing or invitation or modal. I think those are the most easy to do now. Oh, I wanted to take a look at Comic Sans. Let's take a quick look at Comic Sans. That way we can see if it still works. The comic. So let's just take a look at this one for the fun. Because I'm pretty sure it will continue to work. This is basically the most simple extension you can do. It has one CSS file and it has one extender. Oh no, two extenders. One for the CSS and one for the addition of the BB code. And it should just work. Not Comic Send, it's Comic... No. How do we... Did you mean all one word? Oh, it's all... How do we say it in English? Comic Sans or Comic Sans? French is clearly Comic Sans. Okay, so Comic Sans. Let's test that one. Sometimes quicker, and when locally it still takes some time. So now it's installed. Let's admin panel, extensions, refresh, disable the other extension, enable Comic Sans, and let's see if it works. Oh. Oh no, I know. That's because the BB code is not installed. Oh damn. I removed the BB code from my test forum. How do I add that one again? So I can show you how to... So, do I have it? No. So I need to install it again. So how did I want to... So I have two ways to install my extensions on master. So I have my Flarum master, and if we take a look at the composer.json, let's take a look here. You can see that currently I have installed everything from my workbench folder. So even Flarum core is inside of the workbench folder. That way I installed the latest. Now I have two possibilities. I can either clone the BB code extension and install it like this, like I did for all the other one, or I can install from devmaster. And I think I will do the latter. So let's just find the name of the extension. It's just BB code. Yeah, okay, so let's install this. So composer require Flarum/BB code, and I will install dev-master. Oh, and recently I had an interesting talk with my brother. We were wondering, will devmaster be renamed devmain for all the... Because now there is that trend to name the master branch main. This means that the instruction to install devmaster will need to be renamed to devmain. But Flarum is not using main, and no extension does that. So now I have installed from devmaster. We can see the commit that was installed. I can check. So 470, is this the latest commit? Check here. So 470 is the latest commit. So I know that I have the latest version. Now let's enable BB code. BB code is enabled. Oh, we still need... I need to enable Comic Sans after BB code. Oh, and by the way, that's a good time to actually use a new feature from Flarum, because now that we can... this is a new feature. Now we have the extension dependencies. It will check that an extension is enabled before you enable another one. So actually, this is perfect because now we can require BB code to be enabled. So let's require BB code inside of Comic Sans. That way the problem that I just had could not happen. Let's go to Comic Sans. Go to here we can add requirement for BB code, and actually we will require any version. We don't care. We don't care which. I think doing it like that enough. No, it might not be enough. Which other extension did I have? There's always some funny stuff going on. I think I need to do it at least like that, because otherwise it will not install the beta version. Oh, yeah, but let's just do it beta 14. That way, this version will only be installable on beta 14. Because the fix is just that. So the fix is not needed on older versions. So let's just require beta 4. And that way it should work. Let's just do a test. So what did I have? So I will remove it. Composer, remove. Just so I check that the requirements are compatible. I just uninstall it. Wait. Finally. So require, let's now install it. Let's check that the requirements don't fail on me. And we wait. Okay. Okay, so it installed. That's great. Okay, so now let's check the new feature. Let's check actually if it works. So let's try to disable BB code. So Comic Sans requires BB code, so it should not let me do that. I cannot disable Flarum BB code until the following dependent extensions are disabled. That works. Wait. I disable Comic Sans first, disable BB code, now I enable Comic Sans. Yes. So yeah, we've just used the new feature from Flarum Beta 14. That's fantastic. Yeah, and I think we have not tested that the extension still works. So let's test that the extension. Comic. Oh yeah. That's the best extension ever. What else do you want on your forum? You cannot beat the Comic Sans. Is it still? I think it's my second ever extension. Can we actually test that on the query stuff? Is there the date? No, there is not the date. I cannot know when it was. I don't know. It might be my second ever extension. Comic Sans. Okay, but it works. Okay, so that's great. So yeah, but this one I will not make a pull request. Let's not try too hard to get those Oktoberfest points. I will tag a release for this one right away, because yeah, that feature is even if the feature changes in Flarum, I have just updated the Flarum requirement. So let's just tag a new version of Comic Sans. We still had 2 releases. What changed in 4.2? Oh, yes, we had a pull request. It's amazing that even this extension has 2. Wait, what? No, I'm not. this extension has two contributors, and I think the contributor is on the live stream. Two contributors. That's the most amazing extension ever. What? Christian has more commits than myself on my own extension. How is that possible? Never mind. Let's tag the update. So let's require DB code make use of the new beta 14 extension requirement. I don't like when my commit goes on a new line. I don't like the fact that PHP Storm has removed the. In the old version, there was a line that told you when you reached the length of the text that will be truncated on GitHub. It's gone in the new version, and I don't know how to put it back. I assume there is a setting somewhere, but so require BB code make use. Oh, anyway, let's make the new beta 14 extension requirements. Beta 14 required. Okay, let's try. Let's push the update and tags here. Comics and git tag 0.2.1 git push tags. That way it's done. So and people will be able to complain that they might see if they try to install, it will tell them that the latest version is not installable on their forum because Flarum beta 14 is not out yet. But I don't really care. It should install the older version. Let's see if the tag is here. Okay. So that's all good. So let's try last one update, I think, while we still have people, and then I will do. So which one? I think the create user modal. This one is too easy, but let's do it anyway. So create user modal. Create user modal. Let's find the GitHub for that one. Let's clone the extension. Workbench of master. Git clone my extension. Go inside of the extension. Like before, we delete the log file. We install every extension at its last version because we will be reviewing everything anyway. Next, we can open the source code inside of PHP Storm. Open, create user modal. Now let's check the requirements. So this one also has the new requirements. So I will update so that so I will require beta 14 and smaller than beta 15. But I need to use this temporarily. That way I can install it faster. Close this. Let's keep that. To yarn dev. Here we can composer require Flarum x create user modal. Did I miss some messages? No, I saw. Alex. Here, yes. So, and we wait again for Composer to finish. It's always Composer. We are always waiting on. Okay, so now it's installed. So now I can go back to the actual requirements like this. Next, let's take a look at the extenders. So this extension actually has no src folder. Everything is inside of here, and it's using the listener. Isn't there a new list? Isn't there a new extender for? I think we might have been working on one. Will it be metaphor? There is an event extender. I think we can use this one. Let's go big. Let's use a new extender. So let's use the new extend event, or like that event. Then the parameter. And here I can use listen. So basically I will just replace all of this with this here. So I think like now I have used listener. You see all of the stuff that's highlighted because I cannot install. Usually I run Composer install inside of my extension folder. That way PHP Storm can get the source. But here it will be no use because it will install from packages and it will install beta 13. So unfortunately, I will not get the highlighting for the new code anyway. So I'm not going to install the stuff. So yeah, let's keep it like that. Let's hope that it works. This extension was in 2 languages. Yeah, that still works. Now let's take a look at the JavaScript. That's where we have some work to do. But you see, it's a simple extension. In the admin, there is almost nothing. There is a props, however. Why did we extend that? That is cool. Oh, we changed some. Okay, but I think this should still work when I change this. So first, let's see what kind of error we get when we install this. So did I install it? Yes, I installed. So let's enable it. No error so far, but if I go here, oh, no error either. There is this added view items, view create user model. Why isn't there an error? Oops. Why is there no error? That's unexpected. Will be an error. Hello. Is this only called when I open? Oh yeah, it's only called when I open. But why is it working? It's not supposed to work. Or do we still have the compatibility layer in the end? Compatibility layer. Oh, okay. But why didn't I see that before? I see now. It works as expected. Okay, yeah, I missed it. Okay, so you can see what happens here. I'm still using this.props, and this is a message that we put inside of Flarum. So even if you think your extension still works, you should open the dev console and check for some warnings. And if you see this.props is deprecated, please use this.attree instead. So that is one of the deprecation warnings that we put. So some of the things, like this one, might still work in the new Flarum, but there will be some deprecation warnings. So if I change it to attree, the warning should go away. Drop down, now it works. Yep, all good. Okay, so that was the admin side. So admin side is good. Let's go to the front end. So here we see some of the stuff that we've seen before. We see children and we see modals. So again, let's take a look what happens if I just load the front end. It crashes. Crashes right away. So children must not be used. So this is this problem. So just like before, we will copy this. We'll put it there. And good. Yes, now we will see the other error probably. So no longer any error here. If we create new user, now we have the modal manager error. So that's the same as before. Instead of new, we just pass the component. And as a second parameter, we pass the props. But here there are no props. The modal does not need any props, so we can just pass, we can just do it like this. Everything else. Create new user and the modal open. And if I take a look at the source code, did anything change here? So still have the fields, still have the DOM. What did we change? We changed the translation of the submit button. And this might not be working. I think this is not working. And here we have some change. Oh, that's another interesting change, the request change. So let's take a look at what happens right now. So to oh, I'm admin, so I could create users anyway. So let's just try to create a new user. So it will not. So let's see what happens. So fields are required. You see all of the fields, it tells me that all of the fields are missing. And if I check the network, you can see that the request contained nothing. There was nothing in the body of the request. So that's because of the change to this thing. So here, data is now called body. I need to change that. And here we have something with root as well. Check that it works. So that, but this bit does not work either. And I see props. So let's change that to atr. See if this fixes the button that does not have the correct label. So let's try to create a new user. Oh, fantastic. Now the button is completely gone. Children of attributes should never be used. So that's another change. Yeah, it's a bit when you are not familiar with Mitchell, this kind of shenanigans is really not a good idea, because we need to not confuse virtual DOM with virtual nodes. I think that there are multiple steps. No, you need not confuse attributes that are inputs and the virtual node. So there are some stuff that's inside of the virtual node that does not come from otherwise. Okay, so anyway, the thing here is that I don't know why this worked in the past. I think it worked because Flarum had some logic to read at.children and put it inside of children. But anyway, this is virtual DOM, and in the virtual DOM of Mitchell, the children is not inside of attributes, inside of the children itself. So we will just check that. Yeah, so actually we can remove this, and then we can just put it in. I think if I do it like now, I have my label inside of the button. So yeah, and I think we also, footer also removed the content. Okay, so now let's try again. So user something. Let's create a new user. And so there is an error. Was the user created? Seems like the request was successful. We have a 201 response and the user was created. So this worked. The error must be afterwards. Can't convert undefined to object. Where can this error be happening? So there is a then. There is a loaded method. Where does this happen? Yeah, it must be happening inside of here. So I think there was a change. So I think it's m.root.set now. So that we can check inside of the Mitchell documentation. So I had opened this at the start. So we had m.root and m.root. Where is it? It's not, I don't know if it's inside of here, but if I go to the documentation, you can see now it's m.root.set. So I will call m.root.set with the URL that goes to the user, like this. And this, I don't know if it's still needed. I think. Okay, let's try again. It's starting to get dark. Do you still see me? Yeah, there is a nice effect from the. Let's add a bit of light. Let's change the color of the environment. Okay. Let's try with the set. So yeah, let's go back to this. So we will create another user. So create new user. No, so that email and create a user, create work. Yes, it redirects to the user profile page. So it works as expected. And that's basically the whole feature of this extension. There is a bit of additional logic here. If the user directory extension is installed, then the button is added to user directory. But I cannot test that because user directory is not compatible with beta 14 yet, I think. But there is no change to how this works, so I will not test that. I will assume that everything is fine. If it's not, I'll make it. So yeah, so I think that this extension is ready. Basically, yeah, it's ready. Yeah, what else can I think of? There is no CSS. There's only JavaScript. Yeah. Yep. Another thing I could do, I've been using which of my other. I've just updated another one. Which one did I? I wanted to update the README with something more up to date. Which one did I? Oh, it's author. Yes, author change. Yes, author has it. Yes. So I've been putting inside of my extension READMEs. I've been putting the level of support that it offers. I will add this. Now what I will do, I will build the latest. I will make 2 commits, but I can already update. So I will add this to the README, so support. And this one is also one that I will consider active maintenance because I'm using it on some of my forums. So create user is under active maintenance. And yeah, like that. And I will update the license file. I don't like the license file being MD. I'm now changing all of them to txt. And That way I can keep the original formatting from the MIT license. Let's format like that. And if I just make last one check now, compile the latest version, create new user. Yeah, that seems to work all right. Okay, and oh yeah, what was in the extend? Oh yeah, it was a check to see if I was allowed to open it, but yeah, it must work because otherwise the button will not show. All good. Let's commit. So let's make a new branch like one. So git checkout branch beta 4. Go to branch beta 14. Let's make a commit for everything that's beta 4 related. Okay, so prepare for Flarum beta 14. This commit, and then I will put update readme. Add support level like this. Next, I can push my beta 14 branch to GitHub. Next, I repository. Oh, here we can see that I had some pull requests for dependencies, but because I updated all of my dependencies inside of this branch, when I merge this branch, all of these will. So beta 14. Oh, I made multiple commits. Right. Prepare for Flarum beta. Create pull request. And add the tag. Oh, it's a different color each time. I didn't notice when we create a new tag, GitHub makes a random color. Wait, it's almost Christmas. Yeah. That color is pretty good for Halloween. Yeah. So, I think that will be all. I want to make a quick check. Does do the pull request? How long does it take for the pull request to be registered? Oktoberfest. That's oh yeah, works. We pull request. Okay, fantastic. Yep, all good. Okay, so 5 people watching. Oh, just when we reach the end, we have the most people watching. So I don't know if you have any last question or request. We are at the end. I think I have not time to start another one. I will work on this extension. Maybe I don't know if beta 14 will be released before next weekend. But because if it is released next week, maybe I will update some of the extension more quickly. But if it's not released, then next weekend we will probably do another live stream, and I will continue the update of my extension. And even if beta 14 has been released, I will not have had time to update all of them. So there will still be some of them to take care of. So yeah, I will probably do this again next weekend. I think it will work next time. Let me know if you have any preference, which extensions you would like to see me update. Or if you know of another extension that will be interesting to update, or if you have trouble updating one of your extensions, let me know and maybe I can take a look during the stream. If there is anything particularly tricky. Yes. I will probably save this one. So this little tool, if you don't know it, I really like. I really like it. Yeah, I know it's not super useful. So so yeah, I showed you that at the start of the stream. You can do requests, look for extensions, and you can also save links. So I will just save the link for myself in the future. So all this popular this month, create a link one that way. Where do I store the link? We just send it to myself. That after the stream. Okay. Yes, so that I can close. This is the update guide. So even if beta 14 is not released yet and you want to take a look for your extensions, take a look at the guide. It's already public. Some of the extension, some of the documentation has already been updated, and there are also pull requests to make the documentation more complete. So when beta 14 comes out, you will see there is a lot of stuff that was previously undocumented. Now it's documented. So take a look at the official documentation. And yeah, if you have question about the update, please go to the forum, open a new thread or to the Discord server. The comments under this video are probably not a good place to ask for help because I'm not always around, but we have lots of people on the Discord and on the forum. Flarum forum. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I see you next week, I think. So yeah, have a nice end of weekend and nice week. Bye bye.